Hey everybody, are you sick of this spreadsheet yet? Well, too bad, because we're going to keep adding to it. No, just kidding, but not kidding about the part where we're going to add more to it. So we'll need to get caught up to this point, and actually you're further than this right now, or you should be, because you have the depreciation equations here for each of these cars as well. So you should have 6 of these depreciation equations there. And I'm not going to show those yet because I'm going to show you what to do next. We're going to do something else to each car using the depreciation equation. And down here we'll have another table and another graph. And then you'll do all the rest of these on your own. So you can see the videos from Thursday, Friday, Monday if you need to catch up, or certainly ask us for help. But here's what we're going to do today. So you have the depreciation equation, because these were on the video yesterday, for the Honda Civic. Now you might have a slightly different numbers here depending on the data that you obtained from the internet, from kbb.com. And some searches were not in Albany, and that was just a glitch in the way we set it up, but it's going to be super close. So as long as you have these finished, you're good. They might not look exactly like this. And remember that the yellow one is the green one. 1 minus 0.03 is 0.97. You can write it either way. So if you had $1 and you took away 3 cents, you'd have 97 cents. $1 minus 6 cents is 94 cents. So you might see it written either way, but in all honesty, this in the green is more likely to be shown. It's exponential decay, if you remember that from science or 9th grade, which I'm sure you do. All right, so let's make a little chart here. We're going to go X and Y. And X is going to be the years, right? So we're going to have no years, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's go to 8. We'll go out 8 years. And the depreciation will be Y, and Y is right here. We have the equation. So in there, we're going to type a formula. We're going to have this formula in here. And remember, you don't never type Y. You start with equals 13788, no commas, but you do need to put a time sign. So to transfer it from like regular text to an equation, we never use commas, and we do need a multiplication sign here, just for the purposes of the computer. All right, so then we have 0.97 raised to the now x, but we know x. These are our x's over here. So what's our first x? It seems to be in cell A32. So in 0 years, our car, let's get rid of that, our car is worth, I'm going to make it some currency formatted, right? Our car is worth 13,788. Well, that makes sense because 0 years from now is right now, and that's what it costs now. If we drag this down, what it's going to do is change the x to the subsequent years. And you can see it depreciate smoothly over time at a 3% rate per year. So I'm going to box that in. And that again is for the Honda Civic. And then we'll make a chart out of that. So let's highlight all that business. Go to Insert, Chart. It's going to give me a giant one here, right? Now that looks boring. It's accurate, but it's boring. And I think I'm going to change the name to Honda Civic Depreciation. I was able to somehow spell all 3 words wrong. There we go. Now the y-axis, I'm going to only make it go from 10,000 to 15,000 because we don't need any of this junk down here. Nothing happened down here. So I actually can just double click on it and it opens up vertical axis. You could go to customize, but if you just click on one of those y-axis numbers, double click, scroll down a little bit, and I'll start at 10,000. And I like 14,000. That looks good. And then I'm going to go to the background here. I'll click on the white background, double click that, and go to Style, background color, maybe give it a dark gray. I like smooth. You can't really tell on this one, but it's it won't be jagged. It'll smooth out the curve for you. And then if you double click on the blue line, got to get right on it. See how it's blue now? I'm going to change it to, let's see, yellow. I think that looks nice, the gray and yellow, but you can do whatever you need to. So now I'm going to double click on that again, and I'm going to go down and hit data labels. So how did I do that again? I'm going to show you. Click on the line, got to get right on it, double click on it, and then scroll down. Remember we just turned it to yellow? Scroll down a little more and click data labels. And that shows us the price of the car at every interval of a year. 1 year, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So it kind of just puts the chart right on the graph itself. So I'm going to do what we did last time. We got to make it a little bit smaller, right? Because we got to fit 6 of these in there. So because we want to see the graph and make it useful, and I want to see these numbers on here somewhere, you're not going to be able to scrunch it right in there like that. So I think we can stagger these. For example, we could have this one maybe go 1.5 columns, kind of sneak into this one a little bit. And then when we do the second one, this isn't it, but you could just put it underneath like this. And then number 3 will go here, number 4 will go here, number 5 will go here, etc. But let's do number 2 now. So you're going to set up this same XY table for the Toyota Corolla, right? I'll make the grid now. You're going to have your X and your Y, and you're going to go 0 through 8, just like we did here. But this time, you don't want to copy this equation over because that's a different car. So you're going to have an equation here. It may or may not be exactly like mine. It might be similar. Use the one you have. So equals 13,608. Remember, no commas. You do need a time sign. And then we'll open up that parenthesis. And this one was 0.94. And we're going to raise it, not to the letter X, because we know what X is. X is right over here. And the first X is going to be in cell E32. Our first X happens to be 0. We want to reuse that, so we do E32. And I like to make that money. For some reason, it's huge. If that happens, you can go up and make it a reasonable font size. There we go. And then, of course, it's going to be 13,608. Because that's what we started with. 0 years from now is right now. So then when I drag that down, it's going to change the X for each year. Like, for example, look at this one. It's E36 now instead of E32. Anyway, you see the depreciation occur. And now we are going to make a chart out of it. So we're going to highlight it, insert, chart. And remember how it started off really boring like that? I'm going to click on my y-axis somewhere. And I don't need it to go any lower than, say, maybe 7,500 in the middle. So minimum value 7,500. That looks good. I want to change the title again. This one is a Toyota Corolla, which I spelled so close. Thought I didn't have any mistakes. At least that one wasn't a typo. All right, Toyota Corolla. Click on the white, and I'll customize that with chart style. maybe make this one, I'll alternate between black and gray. I like smooth, if that makes a difference. I'm going to click on the blue, double click, and if you get it just right, it'll lighten it up for you. And I'm going to change it to red. So I'll alternate between gray and yellow and black and red. You do whatever looks good, but make sure it's, easy to see, easy on the eyes. And then also when I double click on that line, remember we go down and hit data labels, because that'll give us the prices. And then we have to make it the right size, try to make it about the same size as the other one. And since it wouldn't fit, is that about the same size? Still a little too big. That's pretty good. Since it won't fit, remember we said we'd put it underneath here and we'll stagger them. So there's number 2, and then number 3 will go back up here, number 4 will go down here, 5 will go here, and 6 will go here. So they'll still be underneath where they need to be, but we won't scrunch them up too much, because that way we can see the actual prices, okay, as they come down. All right. So you're going to give that a shot for the next 4 cars, assuming you finished all of this up here for the 4 cars. So you have to make sure to do that first. And then you're going to go, you'll already have your yellow and your yellow and your green all the way through here from previous days. And once that's done, you take your green and you make your chart right here for each one of them. And then the table here, and then the chart underneath it. So that'll be this assignment, and then by that time we'll have a lot of stuff on this one spreadsheet right here. And then we're going to talk about taking out a loan for a car and how you pay it off every month and how that goes down in value too. And then we'll compare the depreciation with the loan payoff, and that's where we really learn something about buying cars and being smart about it. Good luck.